Hi there everyone, welcome back. In our last lesson we created this nice little switch animation and we learned how to create and use the raster levels. We created a raster brush and we also learned how to use the eraser tool. This time around let's learn how to clean up our drawing. Now there are two ways you can do this. The first one is to convert your raster drawings to a vector level, and this is how we do it. So in our drawing, I'll just call this column our drawing, because it's good to give the column a name. And what we'll do is to select all the drawings on the level. So I'll click the first one, hold, click and drag till I select the entire drawing range, and I'll go to level at the top, go to convert and say converts to vectors. Now before we convert to vectors, make sure you take this eye icon to be able to see what is going to look like a before and after, and you can play around with these parameters like the threshold, the accuracy, and the speckling. This just gives you can see the visual hint on how it's going to look like. And personally, I don't use this because it doesn't give me the best results I want. And then we can easily test the convert. And behold, we now have a new vector level. And if we drag the drawing, you can actually see how it's looking like. And I don't really like this, so I'll just delete this. What I like doing is simply just redrawing using the freehand options. So the first thing I'll do is to create a new vector level. So I'll go over here to level and say new vector level. And I'll click OK. Now I have the new vector level. I'll just call it the V underscore drawing. So here's a quick tip to understand if you're on a raster or vector level. If you're on a vector level, this color is going to guide you. It looks kind of like light green, if you might call this. I don't know, you tell me. And then we can just see that difference, like, hey, I'm on a raster level, I'm on a vector level. And what I like to do is to lock the drawing level so I don't accidentally start editing on it. So let's go back to this level and I'll bring in the brush tool, select a dark color, and I'll start drawing the outline. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm setting my brush size to 6, and you can actually see that's the brush size I have here, and I'll draw the eyes and I'll draw the little mouth like that. Cool. So let's switch over to the next drawing, which is this one. Now you can see I can't see the drawing on the vector level. I believe we had a nice little drawing here where we anticipated our switch. So something's going on here. Let's see. Let's just play it again just to get a feel of how. So we had our box going down and then going quickly changing here. So we've lost this, but no problem. We can just anticipate how that's going to look like. All right. So we actually have our brush, our shape, sorry, not our brush. So I'll use this one as a guide here. My first drawing as a guide. So, and it's just squishing down. So I'll just draw this nice little squish like so, and draw the eyes here, and then smoothly it's starting to go back up. So it's going to be less squished, and it's going to be midway between these two drawings like that. And I'll draw the eyes and bring the mouth. So in our next drawing, our shape has actually begun to get back to the original shape. So let's just quickly trace out the outline for the head shape like that, and let's do the nice little body. And let's not forget the most beautiful facial features. And let's go over to the next frame. So I believe this drawing has now gone down a bit because it wants to ease into the settle drawing. So let's draw another shape. So it's going to settle down to the original shape design. So I'll just do this and do that. Again, we're not worried about accuracy and perfection right now. So pull the eyes down a bit. Whoops, that's too... So we have a little crash. So that happens. That happens in OpenToonz, and I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to leave this, and this is a lesson on why we should always save our project. So I'll click on Close Application, and I'll restart OpenToonz again, and hopefully we are actually have something saved, or else we have to start over again. But the good thing is we already have the idea and the concept, but the bad thing is we might have actually lost our information. Now, the reason why that might happen is because I have my screen recording app, recording at the same time, so that's why. And lucky enough, we have all our drawings here. So apologies for that. It's just to show you that we need to save more often, even though it has an autosave feature. So let's do what we did again. We call this our drawing, and we're going to create a new vector level. So I'm going to go to level, new, a new vector level, and click OK. Now we have a vector level drawing at the top, and I'll just start tracing my drawing. So I'll go over here, and it has some drawing guides actually, but I just like using the natural freehand drawing. So this is our first frame, like that, our little guy. So this keeps happening. I don't know why. So it's the let's try turning off pressure, because I don't like how it auto smooths my drawing for me. I don't like it. So I just turned off pressure and it solved that problem. So in our next drawing, what we want to do is to squish this guy. And you can see we have our little squishiness, our little squished dude back. So I'll just drag this and drag this. And then we'll bump up the eye a bit. Maybe we can even zoom in a little bit, because why not? We're doing the line art version now. So let's go over here and let's draw this. So the thing is, how do you rotate the canvas when you're drawing, right? Because sometimes if you're like, some people don't like, I don't even like drawing straight. Sometimes I like twisting the canvas. I think something's happening here. It's telling me it wants to, I have two versions of OpenToonz open. That's really terrible. So I'll close one. I think that might be one of the reasons why it crashed. I might have double clicked when I was starting it. So how do you rotate the canvas? You can hold Control and Spacebar, and you can see you can rotate the canvas. If you want to reset everything back, there's this little dot here. Just click on this dot and you're good to go. So you can rotate the canvas, Control Space, and you can rotate it to any angle. I'm clicking the screen and rotating using my Wacom. That's how you can kind of rotate the screen. If you want to zoom in, it's Shift and Spacebar, and pull up or push down, you can zoom in and out. So that's very important. We haven't covered that, but that's super great. So now we have our stretched drawing. So let's go ahead and just quickly trace this guy. I'll just reset this view. So I'm over here. And the reason why you should actually rotate is to check if your drawing is kind of like, going according to its designed shape. So I'll go ahead and draw the mouth again and quickly do this. So we have this nice little shape here. I like the freehand feel to the animations, but if we wanted, in our future lessons, we're going to be using the shape tools that will actually really help sell the idea. And now we're going back to the settle phase, where our animation has settled back to its original drawing. So again, don't be really worried about your art. Be worried about things like timing and spacing. Why is that eye always weird if I do that? And spacing and all that information. All right, cool. So let's test it out. Swoop, 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 swoop. And the reason why our drawing is disappearing is because we're not holding the last frame. So I'll click on frame and drag this. Now I want to show you something. You can actually see that we have our numbers here for our frames, but our drawings are not following the number. To fix that, click on drag the entire row and click on auto renumber, and this will actually number your drawings with the frames. So basically this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we can actually see it right here. So what's left is to select a nice color palette, to an expressive color palette to display our work. And to do that, I'll just quickly create a nice purplish scene like that, and I'll use colors of the color wheel, or colors that are close to each other. Now purple and blue are close to each other on the color wheel, so I'll use purple and a light blue like that, or cyan, to fill the character. Let's quickly fill our drawing. So I'll go to the fill tool, and over here you can see frame range. So I'll click on this first frame, and I want to click it down to this frame. So if we begin to move, we can actually see it's colored the frames, but not all of them. So I'll go to frame 5 and click on this range, and go to frame 9 and click on this range, and let's see if it's actually done that. So you can see we've quickly colored our drawing, and what I'll do is to make this slightly bright for the color. So we'll just push this up and see we have a nice little bright color. So all we're left to do now is to change the color of the background to this purple color. And let's go to our X sheet, scene settings, and let's just set this to the same. So R is 133, and already I even like this one, but let's try our purple. Our green is 36, and our blue is 100, and I think it's 106, like that. So you can actually see we have a nice little switch animation like that, and that's how you can create a nice little switch animation. There are variations of the switch animation. This one just uses anticipation to hide that change. And let's go ahead and see another example of a switch animation. Thank you very much for watching, and Control S.